Well, hello you bearded bastards, and welcome back once again to my fall kill, Chamberpoint, where it is the 7th of Galena 1210, late summer of our 5th year here in our coastal home. And down below we can see our citizens happily working away. Well, contentedly working away, actually. Better than angrily working away, which is exactly how they've been working most of the time. Well, I mean, to be fair, some of them are still pretty angry, I guess. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're still doing a lot better than we were. That's for sure. There is still some minor unrest out there, but the important thing is that we can finally get down to work, which is what I like to see. Now then, just gonna zoom in a bit here, and you can see our little living structures, which have been pretty sparsely furnished. Till now, you could take a look in these houses and see that we've planned a cabinet and chest to be constructed in each. This is something our citizens are sure to adore and make great use of too. Seeing a lot of messy rooms out there. I will note too that all the furniture is made out of wood. Remember, originally we were trying to avoid doing that, but recently we said that, we kind of have to use a bunch of wood, a lot of wood, which is sure to upset our elven neighbors, I'm sure. And, well, hoping they're not too upset, but man, we are using a lot of wood. All of our roofs, if you have a look up here, yeah, they're all made out of wood, which, I mean, we could avoid it, but it's just so much easier to use than stone. The wood's already up here on the surface, it's much lighter, you can just grab up a log and put it in place. Super easy, but yeah, our neighbors aren't gonna like it. Really hoping those elves see our plight. It's unavoidable. Anyways, down over this way here you can see our wind generating structure. Still don't really have a name for it. Coming right along, still getting some axles and windmills in place. Certainly gonna need those. Yeah, it's getting there. We'll just kind of leave the dwarves to it for now, but we'll check in from time to time, no worries. Keep at it, people. You're doing some great work here. Something I would dearly love to address before it comes around and bites us in the rump is clothing. We have yet to produce any of our own here, which is a vastly unintelligent thing for us to do. Our people are in rags right now, and that can't be doing much for their mood. That being said, we have been growing plants that we can process into thread, and so we have that going for us. We have hemp and jute, some other stuff too, I forgot. But yes, we're gonna get right to that. And you know what? I think we should make a clothier's workshop of some variety, a nice structure. Our craft dwarves are our greatest asset here, and I think it's something they deserve. No, but damn it. Before we get to that, you can see over here, one of our necromancers has gone stark raving mad. This one here is Tobel, one of the more recent migrants. He hasn't been the happiest camper here in the fortress, and it looks like it was just overall too much for the guy. Well, we are trying our best, but apparently for some people it's just not good enough. Can't say I blame the guy. It really is a shame, but unfortunately I don't think there's much we could do at this point. Somebody get a memorial slab ready. Best of luck, you dwarf. Oh, and having a look up to the north here, you can see the dwarven traders are back. It'd be real nice if we can get some actual trading done this time. Here's hoping they're not a bunch of babies again. Those are some premium turtle shell crafts we have. I don't know what they're thinking. We still haven't set up any traps for their wagons, but, well, I suppose we've simmered down a bit. As long as they don't give us any more trouble. We'll just give them a second to unload their crap, and then we'll see if we feel like doing any trading this year. We might not be up to it, you bunch of bastards. Anyways, back to town matters. We do still have some fairly important structures going up, as I mentioned earlier. And you know what? Back on the subject of Chamberpoint being a bit more calm these days, I'm thinking we should arrange something, some sort of way for our dwarves to have fun. What do you think? I think that'd be just dandy. And so, well, I guess I was thinking we could hold some sort of an event, a competition, perhaps. And we could do it right here in the Gleeful Fishman, our soon-to-be fully cleaned-out tavern. I think it'd be good because we could put on a show for some of our dwarves, as well as promote craft dwarfship here in the fortress. It'd be entertaining for our citizens, as well as encourage some of the dwarves to do their very best every day. It'd be really neat to see them put their skills to the test. However, what kind of competition will this be? We should choose one skill, at least for this first tournament. We do have a whole lot of choices. Ooh, here's an idea. How about a cooking competition? I think that would be very cool. Extremely cool. Oh man, we do have 3 Gorlak cooks in the fortress right now, Kogan, Ast, and Saxel, and I'm sure they'd be quite eager to partake. Yes, this promises to be very interesting. And so let's get things set up in here. We have 3 kitchen workshops in here going up, as well as some nice statues, of course, as well as a couple of animals. Oh, and you know what? Let's get some more animals in there too. Bring in the cages, dwarves. Ah, yes, there we go. We have a giant rattlesnake, giant bobcat, chimp, saltwater crocodile, giant otter, giant jaguar, and giant anaconda. A menagerie if ever I've seen one. Quite a variety, and I'm sure all attending will get a major kick out of it. Oh, this is gonna be good, I'm telling you. Very exciting. Now, what should we name this event? The Tournament of the Notched Bell? No. The Crypt of Whiskers? No. The Die of Symmetries? Boring. Alright, I tell you what, I'm gonna put some thought into this, and there we go. I figure we'll go with Ustos Melist, the Angry Tournament. An homage to our early days here in the fortress. Yes, we do have quite the rough reputation these days. Might as well celebrate it, right? And you know what? I think we should make this an annual event too. Wouldn't that be nice? I think it would be a great way for everyone to just come together, relax a bit, and show off their skills. And also appreciate the skills of others. We can reflect on the year a bit, and just kind of enjoy the fruits of our labors. In fact, you know what? I think that's just what this fortress needs. More than anything, really. Just some downtime. And you know what? Looking at the date here, and go goddamn figure. Right now it's the 1st of Sandstone, 1210, mid-autumn. And so I figure that's when we'll get things started every year from this point forward. 1st of Sandstone, smack dab in the middle of the autumn season. Yes, I do like the sounds of that very much. And now then, what are we waiting for? Let's get on with the show. It's time to commence with our first Angry Tournament. Good luck, you 3. Now, for this competition, we've required each of our 3 contestants to prepare a lavish meal. This should be interesting. Here we can see Ast arriving at her kitchen, carrying some muck roots, an interesting choice. And here comes Saxel with some celery. Okay. It'll be interesting to see what they do with these rather plain ingredients. Still no sign of our 3rd contestant though. Kogan, that is. One of the founding members of our fortress. He's probably off picking the choicest ingredients. I expect great things from him. Oh, and our other contestants are coming back. Ast with some prepared llama kidney, and Saxel with some llama tripe. Let's hope those 2 don't end up making the same dish. Still no sign of Kogan. Oh, there he is actually. Starting his dish with a handful of pecans. Okay. Perfect for this time of year. I'm sure they were gathered from the surrounding forest. It is fairly bountiful around here. Here comes Ast once again, with some llama intestines, and Saxel with some llama spleen. Very interesting. I can imagine their dishes ending up quite similar, actually. Here comes Kogan once again, diverting with some yak brain. Pecans and brain. Very intriguing. And Ast has returned to her workshop once again with some reindeer meat. And that finishes off the ingredients she needs. And she has begun cooking. Saxel's back with some goat spleen. He's begun cooking as well. And here comes Kogan with his 3rd ingredient, some yak sweetbread. Oh, that's gonna be one savory dish, that's for sure. He's off to choose his last ingredient. And the other 2 have already finished cooking their dishes. Just waiting on Kogan now, who looks to be finishing up his meal with some reindeer brain. Wonderful. He's cooking, and his dish is complete. And there we have it, people. The competition has come to a close. Now, we move on to the judging portion. Let's see what we have here. Starting us off, we have Kogan's creation, a stack of 4 well-prepared reindeer brain roasts. The ingredients are pecans, prepared yak brain, yak sweetbread, and prepared reindeer brain. What a clever Gorlak. It seems he's turned the pecans into a sort of a pie crust, with all those meats mingled within. An interesting flavor, savory, and the mixture of brains and sweetbread do tend to work together pretty well, actually. Yes, that is a decent meal. Good job, Kogan. Up next is Ast's creation, which is a stack of 14 finely prepared reindeer meat roasts. The ingredients are muck root, prepared llama kidney, llama intestines, and reindeer meat. How clever! The earthy flavor of the muck root goes really well with that llama kidney. Combine that with the gamey flavor of the reindeer meat, and stuff it inside some llama intestines, and well, you have yourself there a nice savory autumn time sausage. Yes, very nice. Fantastic work, Ast. And last but not least, the Saxel's creation, which is a stack of 3 exceptional goat spleen roasts. The ingredients are celery, llama tripe, llama spleen, and goat spleen. Okay, Well, that's an interesting one, certainly. Looks like Saxel went with a bit of a stir fry here. Certainly not bad. An interesting presentation. I'm not sure that will garner more or less points, but I suppose we will see. The celery is an interesting choice. Such a mild flavor, but it has a certain peppery aspect to it. Not bad, and it does complement the spleen pretty well. Nice work here, Saxel. Best of luck to you. Okay, let's tally up those points and see how we did. The winner of our first Angry tournament is Ast with her reindeer meat roast. A wonderful dish. Extremely good work. You should be proud of yourself. Our first champion has been crowned, and our first Angry tournament comes to a close. Thank you all for attending and participating, even though, granted, I realize not too many have attended. Such busy dwarves. Well, we may have caught them off guard. I don't blame them. Next year there'll be more here. I can guarantee it. Of course, now we have the issue of what we should award Ast with. She deserves something. As it is, I'm sure you've noticed she's not in the best of moods. We have to give her something nice. And really, I think the best thing we could do is give her a bit of a customized bedroom. That'd be pretty nice, actually. Maybe that'll be the reward for winning these tournaments. A nice custom bedroom. Nice furniture, a bit more spacious than the typical dorms. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. That's what we'll be doing. Now looking up to the north, looks like some migrants have arrived, despite the danger. Danger nothing. We've been fine lately. Relax. It's a shame you missed the tournament, actually. Oh, it was a good one. But that's fine. There's always next year. Now let's have a look here. Population is at 132 now. That's getting up there. Kind of caught me off guard, actually. 132 people. But yes, back to the subject of our new champion and her customized bedroom. I'm thinking maybe we should just construct her a new bedroom out somewhere else, perhaps? It is kind of crowded down here, isn't it? And she deserves a nice spacious place to call her own. How about we do it right here? We got kind of this wide open area. Yeah, what the hell? That should be big enough. Yeah, you know what? I like that a lot. That's what we're gonna do. And you know what? I think we'll even make it 2 stories tall as well. We'll give her a nice dining room too. No expense will be spared. In the meantime, we'll have a look at some of our other structures. Like over here, you can see the long clothier building, which is just about done. All the workshops are now in place and we are already producing some clothing. Being very careful too to make clothing of appropriate sizes for all of our residents. Very important. Over here in the former panda compound, you can see the horn beetles and their eggs. Many, many eggs. We're hoping to raise up a big brood coming up. We'll have to see what happens though. Sometimes it can be difficult to get these eggs to hatch. I do like too that one of the nest boxes is occupied by a hen, like she's just sitting in her nest box with these horn beetles. Just part of the gang. Pretty cute, really. Such good animals. Moving on a bit now, we have some other structures. Like over here we have our warehouse, which you can see is absolutely stuffed with furniture. Up on the second level here anyways. Down below we have plenty of space left for bins, in which we have a slew of different items stored. Crafts, clothing, gems. It all goes in here. And I know I've showed this place off before, but I figured I'd give an update because up above we're actually making like an attic storage area for more furniture. We have an awful lot of furniture here. We need a place to put it. Down this way over here you can see our wind generators, and you can even see the western structure is up and running currently. Even though all the windmills are not yet in place, we have an awful lot of wind that comes in off the sea. It's actually really good we put the thing here. We're generating a ton of power. Having a look down right here, you can see we've made a tiny underground area to link up these 2 structures. Looking up above, you can see all the axles that are in place and spinning wildly. And actually right between, right over here, you can see a bedroom. We had enough space here, so I figured, what the heck, we can make one big bedroom. And this here is Stackhud's bedroom. Well, actually a bedroom, dining room, and office. Pretty cramped in here, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Actually, we put an artifact in there for the guy. A cabinet made of chicken bones. We made it here a while ago, and he seemed to really enjoy it, so I figured, what the hell. And you know what? I'm gonna say this is one of the most cozy places in the entire fortress currently. A warm wooden structure right next to the sea, and you have the constant sound of the grinding wooden axles lulling you to sleep every night. Yeah, I'd say it's rather peaceful in here when you don't have babbling dwarves walking through your bedroom. That's a bit of a problem, but just part of life here in Mephalakil. Yeah, I'm glad we found a place for this guy, and that he enjoys it so much. Oh, and right, up above, you can see the windmills. Notice how few are in place right now, and yet it's more than enough to get those gears below moving. Very impressive, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of wind here, This will work very well for our future plans. Currently we have 12 windmills in place, and that's generating 400 power. And we only need 334 to power the structure. Imagine how much power we'll have after all the windmills are complete. It'll be very impressive, that's for sure. Soon enough, really. I can't wait. Up over here, next to the clothier building, and just to the north of one of our temples, we're building a stoneworkers guild. We just received a petition to construct one, and so we figured we'd get right on it. Making it out of gabbro, starting to run low on granite, so figured that'd be pretty cool. It should be up in no time flat. Over this way here, you can see we just put the finishing touches on our champion's house. It's pretty good looking. We have a dining room down here on the bottom level, a statue going up out front, and then up top, a bedroom. Nice and spacious, and well appointed, of course. She's sure to appreciate it. And we gotta finish up looking at our structures, but lastly, I want to show off this, our wall, which you can see is coming right along. 2 Z levels tall, a thicker bottom level, and then a thinner top level, and you can see that most of the north wall is completed already. The moat is still being dug out, and if we move over to the east here, you can see we've finished it up to the point where the 2 walls come together for the gate. Still have some finishing touches to put in place, and, well, the actual gate, of course. As of this current time, the wall's not doing anything for us, and so we're trying to get to it. Although, I will say that, well, the dwarves have been feeling a bit lax lately. I really am surprised that that beardless baron has yet to give us any trouble. It's good to see. Certainly we don't need any. But that being said, well, some of the dwarves are thinking that we should start taking some action. And I gotta say that it's hard to disagree. Nothing major, quite yet. We still need a barracks, of course, train up some warriors, but I'm thinking we should launch some kind of stealthy raids. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe steal some stuff from them. Yes, I think that'd be a very good idea. Weaken them through subterfuge. It'd be a decent way to start. Oh dear. We have some sort of trauma going on over here. Yeah, I guess we do still have some unrest here in the fortress. I don't think anybody died in that one, though. So that's good. Oh, man. Having a look in our hospital here. What a mess. Yeah, a lot of injuries here. I do think this one here was started off by Ast, by the way. The champion of the Angry Tournament. I hope she settles down. Actually, another part of her rewards for winning the tournament was that we've been ignoring her recent crimes, of which she has many, by the way. Throwing random tantrums, toppling buildings, that sort of stuff. Hey, really like it if you'd stop. That'd be great. Man, that's a mess. You know what, actually, while we're on the subject of Ast, I think she deserves a nickname as well. Such a crabby Gorlak. Ast, I think from now on you're going to be referred to as Sausage, in remembrance of your tournament-winning meal. Here's hoping she doesn't lose it entirely by the time we get too attached. Hang in there, Ast, and just try to remember your nice new home you have waiting for you at the end of the day. Please, no more trouble. Actually, you know what? While we're giving out nicknames, we have this dwarf over here, the necromancer that went totally stark raving mad. Normally when they get like this, eventually they'll die of dehydration or starving, but he's a necromancer, an undead creature, so that's not going to happen. Basically, he's just going to wander around like this till the end of days. Also, I will note that he's completely nude and has been nude since the very beginning of his insanity. Yeah, let's give this guy a nickname. We're going to call this guy Old Fish Gut, because he used to be a fish cleaner. I imagine he built up quite a stink. Well, take it easy there, Fish Gut. Now, let's see. We are trying to tone things down a bit around here, just because we still do have so many upset dwarves. Again, it is calmer than it was in the early days, but, you know, obviously there is still some problems here. Having a look over here, you can see all those horn beetle eggs hatched. Really surprising, actually. So now you can see we have a whole bunch of new horn beetles. That'll be helpful. I'm surprised we're able to get so many of them to hatch, actually. Usually it's a big problem. This is going to be extremely useful in the future. Horn beetles are powerful creatures, and if we keep up being successful breeding them like this, then we can train them how to fight, and maybe send out squads of horn beetles accompanied by one of our citizens. A good way to conserve our warriors, of which we currently have none. Actually, on the subject of warriors, well, we're going to need weapons and armor for them. And I was really thinking we'd get lucky here, but we've been doing some mining lately. Yes, if we have a look down here, you can see our original mining operation has come along quite a bit. Very cleared out in here, and we really haven't found that much at all on this layer. Just a few gems. But if we move upwards, right here, well, we still haven't found that much, but if we keep going, up to this level here, I'm gonna zoom in a bit, you can see we've discovered some tetrahedrite, which is good for copper and silver, but that's not gonna help us that much in the way of arms and armor. Moving up, To this level here, we have galena, which is an ore of silver and lead. Again, not too helpful. Moving up some more. To this level, we do have a bunch of gypsum, which is good for plaster casts. Again, not gonna help us too much. Actually, you know what? That's gonna help us out a bit. Broken bones. We need a lot of casts, but we can't make arms and armor out of that. Going up, right here, we do have some more galena as well as gold, which is something. Extremely valuable, of course. But unfortunately, we can't armor our dwarves in gold. So it's kind of a problem. We're gonna have to keep digging around. Obviously, there's a lot of metal in this area, but it's just not what we need. We'll be wealthy as heck, but we need a way to fight. It's okay, we'll keep digging. I've got a good feeling we'll hit something eventually. It's just gonna take a bit. Heading up and out of the mines now, we actually just had another artifact made. And well, you can have a look here and see how many artifacts we have already. We've hardly seen any, but if we stopped and looked at every one, then we wouldn't get anything done. This one here though I think is pretty darn neat. And with it we've actually made an interesting discovery. Its name is Zerath-Tan, the Desert of Tix, a gypsum ring. Worth 33,000. This is a gypsum ring. All craft dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with oval gypsum cabochons and cushion-cut pipe opals, and it's also encircled with bands of oval gypsum cabochons and oval-cut morions. It is adorned with hanging rings of morion and menaces with spikes of gypsum and brass. Complex, extremely complex. On the item is an image of dwarves and sheep bone. The dwarves are traveling. This relates to the foundation of Chamberpoint in the early spring of 1206. Also on the item is an image of Erush Lanternsea, the dwarf, and Stackcud, our captain of the guard. Erush is making a plaintive gesture. Stackcud is laughing. This artwork relates to the mortal wounding of Erush by Stackcud in the early winter of 1209, one of the beatings he doled out. And to finish this one off, there's an image of Iteb Claspstrapped, the dwarf, and the dwarves, in yak bone. Iteb Claspstrapped, the vampire queen. She rose to power in 96, and that devil was able to rule over us for quite some time. It is thought that she wasn't a vampire originally, at the beginning of her reign, but at some point during it she received this curse. Though we know now that before she was queen, she was still sort of a shady individual. Truth be told, her once good name lies in ruin these days. Still, she fought through many battles and channeled Cobalt, perhaps using her vampiric wiles to escape from the carnage. We can't deny that she's the one who pulled our civilization through these troubling times, but enough was enough, and in 155 channeled Cobalt was destroyed, and so she fled to Ring Bristles where she became a peddler. But of course, war came to Ring Bristles as well. Anyway, she continued fighting in these battles, somehow surviving, until 213, when she was finally captured and burned alive in stake inks. Disgraced and forgotten, her good name more than sullied. However, let's take a look back at the beginning of her reign, for there is something I did not mention. When Iteb originally took the throne, she literally took the throne as a symbol of authority. And that throne, the actual item, is very well known to our civilization. It's a legendary item, actually. It stands as the first seat of power for our people, a throne crafted of dwarven bones. A grisly thing indeed, but an item of great renown regardless. Never could we have thought that this legendary throne was the one that now sits in the gleeful fishman, but it is indeed. Seduced drowns the grieving burial. It was stolen by an elf and kept away from our people for far too long, but we now have our hands on it once again. This is a great discovery, and a bright omen, I'd say. Things are looking up for us, or they will soon be at least. It's gotta happen. People of Chamberpoint, fate has smiled upon us today, and I believe it will continue to do so. Remain strong, my friends. In other news, down over this way here, the elves have come to trade, but we've already screwed up that trade. One of the items we were trying to trade with them was decorated with bits of wood, and apparently that was enough to set them off. Oh my god. These guys over here. We're trying to make nice. It was a really good trade, but here we are. Really frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to stay friends with these guys, but they're making it difficult. Starting to think we should be more concerned about our neighbors than that beardless baron, honestly. The elves have some pretty big empires in the area, and if they come after us, we're going to be in some serious trouble. A bridge we'll cross when we get to it. Anyways, besides that, things are moving steadily along. This fortress is a goddamn mess, by the way. Not sure you've noticed, but it is. I feel like it might be getting worse too. There is like just like a bad taint of unrest around here. It's a little bothersome. And you know, the novelty of all these tantruming dwarves is really starting to lose its appeal, I think. They're all over the place. In fact, we've begun expelling dwarves, or any unhappy citizens for that matter. It's getting to be a bit much. Starting to get sick of it. Gotta get a handle on it, you know? So like this one here, Melville. You are out of here, my friend. I'm sorry, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. Yeah, starting to get real sick of these tantruming dwarves. I think we've thrown out about 5 so far. And like we have this one over here, Iton throwing a tantrum, a farmer. You can get out of here too, no interest in that. We're probably just gonna keep doing that in the background too, just throwing out these tantruming dwarves. Cause again, we are totally through with that. Now moving on from that, I realize we still have no warriors or armor or equipment for warriors in our fortress, but I think we should head out on one of those raids we were talking about earlier. Don't you? I think that'd be pretty fun actually. And so what I would like to do is take this Testri's warrior right here, Ted, and make her into a scout. Maybe lead some expeditions out and about around the world. I think that'd be pretty cool. She does seem like a rather sneaky individual. I don't imagine her having a big problem at all. But first we do have to make some preparations. She definitely needs gear, and perhaps a companion as well. I think that would be a good idea. And so you can see we've already geared her up a little bit. We actually butchered one of our horn beetles for this task, and made her a nice chitin helmet, leggings, and gauntlets, as well as some leather gear to go along with it. And now she's off on her way to the horn beetle pasture where she's going to choose a horn beetle. It will serve as her mount and companion. Very good, there we go. Here's her horn beetle, a young male, that she named Toulon, or blunted hatchet, I guess in reference to its horn, that it will use much like a hatchet to smash its foes. Just gotta wait for her to put together her gear now. We've also made her a horn beetle chitin bow, and she gets a quiver of course, and, well, the saddest part of her gear is that we don't have the metal for arrows quite yet, and so we've just assigned her to have wooden arrows, which is sad, yes, but we'll be making some metal ones soon, so no worries. And now that she's all good to go, I suppose we should pick a place to send her to. Now let's have a look. Gonna zoom out a bit. Okay, if we change things up a bit, well, we could see a whole slew of places, including settlements owned by the Abbey of Proliferation down to the south. That's where we're gonna go. Now let's see. Okay, right down here, one of the closest settlements. It's still 6 days travel away. Gonna zoom in a bit, but it's a dwarven hamlet called Satiny Strikes. There aren't many people there, and it looks like there's an artifact here too, Glad Riddled, the Chastity of Fortifying. This looks like a good target. We're going to raid this site. And by raid, I mean raid, as in we're going to try to avoid detection. And I'd really like to get that artifact, and so we'll avoid looting other items or livestock. Very good. And we'll assign the Green Eyes. The squad Ted and Blunted Hatchets are in. Okay, here we go. Ted, I wish you the very best. Good luck. Please come home with that artifact. It'll be a good first step. Oh, and good luck to you too, Blunted Hatchet. You'll make a fine companion. I have no doubt about that. Well, you bearded bastards, I think that's gonna about do it for now. Currently working our way through the summer season, and so our second Angry Tournament is right around the corner. And you know what? I'm thinking this year we'll actually take some time off too. Our citizens might very well need it. We gotta do something. Despite our earlier optimism, things are still a bit uneasy around here. But, again, no worries. We'll get a handle on it eventually. Oh, Chamberpoint. A hell of a fortress you are. Well, hello you bearded bastards, and welcome to the end of the episode where we're going to be talking about some behind-the-scenes things. My oh my, old Chamberpoint. What a pain in the ass. I love it. Although, that being said, we've had it surprisingly easy, thankfully. No werebeasts, no sieges even. To be frank, it's a little disappointing. I had done this whole thing as a challenge, as I've said before. And we really haven't had that many challenges, except from within. Our own citizens have been the worst challenge so far. And yeah, it's a challenge, but, you know, I want a challenge. So, maybe having Ted go out and stir up the old beehive a little bit. We'll get those Abbey of Proliferation dwarves to come up here and bother us back a little. Well, we'll see what happens. If not, we gotta do something. For adventure's sake. Maybe we could head down the caves and figure out what killed that Testry earlier. You never know what could be lurking down there. We haven't really dug too deep so far. Might be worth it. We should be keeping our eyes out for new types of metal. It's super disappointing that we've only had copper so far. In this particular location, we've had shallow metals and deep metals, as well as flexstone, so I was sure we'd have something a little bit better, and we still might, but I am kinda losing hope. We'll see what happens. Oh, another note too. The Angry Tournament. I really liked that. I hope you did too. And you know, I'm really looking forward to doing it again. I had said before that we might change it up from year to year and do different competitions, but I really liked that cooking there. It's fun drawing the dwarven cuisine and how weird it can be. So I'm thinking that might be the main focus. Maybe we'll make some other things too. But yeah, I think cooking is going to be the main event. It certainly works. Anyways, okay, gonna wrap it up here. My bearded bastards, I thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I'm not just pulling your leg either. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I certainly hope to see you next time here in Mafall Kill Chamberpoint. And until then, you bearded bastards.